Hello everyone and welcome back to another Summit Conversations video. Today I want to talk about something that I think we don't talk about enough, and that is the emotional roller coaster that comes with planning your first virtual summit. And I think those of you who are maybe thinking about your first summit or in the stages of early planning, you might think you're wrong for these things or that there's some sign that you shouldn't be planning a summit, but please note that that is not at all the case. I still experience all of these feelings every single time I host a summit. And as someone who is very highly sensitive, I'm really in tune with all of these feelings. And I'm actually grateful that I continue hosting summits myself and going through it all in a fresh way, because these kinds of things are easy to forget, right? We focus so much on the experience and what happened at the end that we forget the middle of the process. And I wouldn't be able to help you, and especially my clients, through these feelings and struggles and stuff if I wasn't experiencing it myself regularly. But instead, I get to feel it all right alongside you every single time. So today, let's talk about where these mindset issues tend to sneak in throughout the summit planning process, why they happen, and how you can kind of deal with them, in some cases just push through them. Because if you haven't started planning your summit yet, I would guess it's mostly a mindset issue, right? We can make so many little excuses, but there's probably something at the core that is all about your mindset. And that's okay, right? We're going to work through it together. But the second place, we're saving the first place till the end. The second place where mindset drama really shows up is when it's time to pitch speakers, right? This can be a scary feeling. It's like the first time you're going to get unfiltered feedback and look for acceptance of your event from someone other than yourself or your friends, and it can be a little terrifying. And I actually still remember when I was planning my very first summit, it was 2017, I literally had a dream, I guess we could call it a nightmare, where one specific speaker I really admired, in this dream, she opened my pitch email and just laughed at her screen as she was reading it, right? Like, who does she think she is? And just busted out laughing. That was my biggest fear. And then I had a dream about it. It was just not great. Not a great one to wake up from. I did not help the self-doubt. But what actually happened when I sent the pitches, including that one, is that I got an excited yes response instead. They just kept rolling in, including responses from people I looked up to and never thought would give me the time of day. And that nightmare and all those feelings and doubts and thoughts that I had seemed so silly, right? And what I've learned after all these years and summits is that almost no one you pitch will care about your list size, how long you've been in business, or any of that. I have never once been asked for my email list size when pitching speakers. I've pitched 200 plus at this point. And not even when I was just starting out with barely anyone on my list, barely any social following. In most cases, with most speakers, they're not evaluating whether you are good enough. They're looking at whether your event sounds interesting, whether it serves their audience, whether they will benefit through it, and whether you seem organized and professional. Very few will be like, well, how big of a deal is this person? If the event seems perfect. And that's what I'm all about here. Let's create some awesome events that people want to be a part of. So as long as you're using the right strategies, which I have something at the end of this video for free to help you with, you're going to get way more yes responses than you expect, right? It's a nice surprise. From there comes the next big mindset challenge moment, whatever, and that's right before you open registrations for your summit. So now you have speakers on board, which is amazing, but suddenly you are again wondering, is this good enough for my audience to want to get a free ticket? Is the all access pass good enough to make sales? What if nobody signs up? What if this is a flop? Will my speakers hate me? Oh my gosh, we just spiral, right? Your mind starts spinning with all of these things, and it's scary to put yourself and your event out there for the world to see. But if you have put your event together well, if you have followed a proven process, your attendees are going to be excited to sign up. I promise you that. Okay. When I launched my first summit, I was hoping for a few hundred attendees. I think my goal was 500 attendees. But even that felt like I was pushing it. I don't know that I ever said that out loud because I was like, this probably isn't going to happen. But what actually happened was that I tripled my email list. I had 1,500 people show up instead, and I made more money in that one event than I had in the previous 3 months of my business combined. How silly would it have been for me to not launch that summit because of these fears that were truly just stories I was making up in my head, and not even good stories? Why do we do that to ourselves? We tell ourselves just the worst possible stories, and they're totally false. And then after that, there's this final plummet on the mindset roller coaster that shows up right before your event begins. So if you had a solid project plan, you've done everything you need to do, you're going to reach this point before your event starts where the work is done. And when you don't have any more work to do, your mind will try to convince you that it can't possibly be good enough, right? You'll start thinking you should have done more, created more, prepared more, whatever. But this is the part where you get to realize two things. First, the train is already rolling and it is too late to turn back, right? The summit is happening. And second is that you have to and get to trust the process and just let it all unfold the way it's going to. But what you get to do after that is just wait until you see the incredible feedback that starts rolling in once your attendees dive into the event you created. Okay, but I know it can be difficult to get to that point. All of these things are very normal. So now I want to back it up all the way to the beginning. Out of all of these like mindset moments, just getting started tends to be the single hardest part. I see so many people say things like, I'm going to host a summit next year. I'm going to start after this next launch. Once I grow my email list a little bit more, once I get one more product out there. And sometimes these things might be strategic, but more often than not, it's because you think you need to have like a bigger email list or be more well known, or you're just like scared of getting started before you host your summit. And like, I get it, right? It's a big project that you probably feel like you don't know a lot about. It's not always the smartest thing to dive headfirst into something you don't fully understand. But I put my first summit off for months. It could honestly could be up to a year, just worrying that people would wonder who I thought I was to be hosting a summit, doubting if I could figure it out. But what I need you to know, like, your email list is already big enough. You already have what it takes. Everyone is scared before hosting their first summit. So these feelings are normal and natural. But if you're sitting there thinking, I hear you, I get it, how do I actually get started? I have you covered. Next week, I'm running a free challenge. It's called Start Your Summit That Sells. So over just a few days, we're going to work through these mindset blocks together. But more than that, we're going to take like actual action on your summit. You are going to start planning your summit, and you'll get to do it with me alongside you, answering your questions, giving you feedback, and alongside hundreds of other summit hosts who will be doing it all with you too. So you're going to set realistic but exciting goals for your event. You'll decide on a summit topic that will actually grab your audience's attention, map out your monetization strategy, and set your actual event dates. So you can learn all about that in the challenge. I'll have that linked below this video, so go ahead and click there. But if you're ready to stop letting this mindset drama keep you stuck, just join me for this challenge. I will walk you through the process. It's going to be so much fun. I would also love to hear from those of you who have hosted summits before, or you're in the process or thinking about it. If you have other like fears or times during the process where you are on the mindset roller coaster, comment below. I think we can all just know that we are in it together, right?